Well, Dave, arguably the biggest test of the season so far on Saturday. The league leaders coming to Edgeley Park. How are you feeling ahead of that game?
Yeah, obviously looking forward to it. In terms of them coming here, sat top of the league, but deservedly so in terms of the start they've had to the season. As you say, good test for us, but we come into it in a really good place. Looking forward to the game. I'm sure it'll be a brilliant atmosphere in terms of the crowd that are there. And our focus has to be on us keeping our performances at a consistent level and looking to win the game.
When you look back at the run you've been on lately, obviously 7 wins in the last 9, but one of the things that stood out is the different ways that you've won games. You've won by big margins, you've ground out 1-0 wins, come from behind last week. That's a sign of a successful team, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think a start of the run we've played, I suppose, teams where maybe going into the game we were the underdogs a little bit, but we've probably played teams that suited our strengths in a certain way. I think Saturday was different in terms of having to deal with what was thrown at us, and especially having to come from behind when, in my opinion, we didn't deserve to be. Showed a good deal of character and resilience, and that'll do the group an awful lot of good. But if we're going to have any success over the course of the season, that you do have to do that. You do have to be adaptable. You have to find a way at times. We're not going to play well all of the time, but we hope that we can continue our form. Like I say, even from the start of the season, performances have been good. The difference over the last month or 6 weeks, if you like, is that we've got the results that we've deserved through them performances. We've done the basics really well. We've cut out the individual mistakes, and that's bred an awful amount of confidence and belief in the group.
And when you have opted to make changes recently, like you did in the FA Cup game against Swindon, that identity, that way of playing is still very much the same no matter who's playing, which was really one of the hallmarks of that run you went on last season as well.
Yeah, that won't change. I think all the players are clear and our messages are consistent in terms of what we want from the group, and not just the way that I suppose suits our players in terms of how we've recruited, but from a club standpoint and a supporter standpoint, they understand what they're going to get from us. I don't think, like I say, we've ever gone away from that. We've been consistent in our messages. We've just got the rewards for that, and when you do get the rewards for that, I suppose players are then reinforced by that, and don't particularly work harder at it, but it just becomes more natural in terms of the way they go about it. You don't go off plan. There's been a calmness around how we've gone about things, although there's been a real intensity about doing it, and that's got us, like I say, really good results over the recent past.
You obviously always want your players to react in the right way to maybe not being in the team at times. What have you made of the response from Anthony Sarcevic in recent weeks and the way he's fought his way back into the side in the last few games?
Yeah, listen, the squad's a strong squad. In lots of instances, I've said this before, football's not straightforward and black and white, and there's different things going on in different players' circumstances. Sarce went through a bit of a spell where things not so much weren't going for him. He just wasn't feeling it, and ultimately for us, he is one of our most important players. He's one of our best players. His record in terms of promotions and success is phenomenal, and we need to have him enjoying his football. Probably, again, without me speaking out of turn, he went through a spell where he wasn't sort of feeling it for whatever reason. But the good thing and the positive thing beyond that is we've now got him back to where we want him to be. And as I say, I don't go away from that. He'll play a huge part in what we do, because as a player, in my opinion, he's still well above the level. I don't read and look at lots of things, but sometimes you get past things. Being very, I suppose, clear around where he's at. He is and was, when he came back at the start of the season, in unbelievable nick. In terms of his output on the pitch, we ask a lot of our midfield players, and I suppose everybody will know based on what they saw last season, if you don't have the ability to get around and press and really be high intensity for 90 minutes, then you aren't going to get in the team. Every single one of them has the ability and does do that. He has the quality that, like I say, in my opinion, is above the level and will be massively important in terms of us achieving anything this season, along with the other players he has there. So to have him back in and firing and enjoying his football makes a huge difference for us, not just on the pitch, but in terms of around here, because, like I say, he's a hugely valued member of the group.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in terms of injuries for Saturday, obviously Veit Yaros and Callum Camp's missing last weekend. How's the squad looking for Saturday? Yeah,
Veit's back with Liverpool just for a few weeks, so he had a couple of injections in his, not so much his knee, sort of side of his knee, if you like. So bit of a, I wouldn't say a setback, but we've had to sort of pull back on him a little bit. So it's probably going to be mid-December by the time he's back available in terms of selection to play. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks away. Campsey won't be available this weekend, more through precaution than anything else. He got a good whack on that shoulder he's had operated on previously. So it's not done long-standing damage, but it's given it a good whack. So again, he'll do some strengthening over the next couple of weeks. We'll try and keep him away from contact. He's still out on the grass, he's still running, so he won't lose any fitness, and we'll hope that within the next sort of 7 to 10 days he'll be able to be back involved. Aside from, like I say, those two in terms of first team squad members, everyone else is fit, is out there. It's like you can imagine, it's a great place, even not that it's not normally, but a great place to be at the moment in terms of everybody's enjoying the little bit of success we're having and want that to continue for as long as possible.
Yeah, one player it's been great to see back on the pitch has obviously been Maka. He's had a very difficult stop-start season so far, but back in the side after that spell out through injury. How has he reacted, and is that still a situation that needs to be carefully managed?
It does, but he comes back in probably at a good time where we're not at a point where we're Saturday, Tuesday. The schedule in terms of games, Saturday to Saturday, really help him because we can come off him a little bit and get him prepared for the next game. Like I say, we ultimately, when those games do come around where we do have Saturday, Tuesday, we need to make sure he's physically in a state to be able to do that. I suppose we can do that pretty slowly over this period, and be reactive based on what we see, for example, with him on a Monday morning in terms of well-being and all those things that we go through. And if there are any issues with him, then there's no problem with giving him a few days off the grass. Like I say, touch wood, we've not had to do that. He's reacted really well to the games, has increased his minutes from sort of 55, it wasn't the first game, up to 80 on Saturday. The nature of him is we do have to be a little bit careful because he's very explosive, he's very dynamic, he's very lightweight, shall we say, and ends up in lots of contacts and collisions which can cause problems. We just want to keep him fit for as long as possible. He's an important player for us. You see the difference in the dynamic. Brownie was and has been great, but the different players in terms of what they give us in different circumstances. So to have them options for us as a management team is really pleasing.
Just going back to Leyton Orient, as you said before, obviously coming in probably as the promotion favourites at the minute. Just 2 defeats all season. I think they won 13 of 18 games. What sort of game can we expect against them on Saturday? A
tough one, probably a similar sort of setup of what Swindon were in terms of how they play and their rotations, which are again tough to deal with. Probably a little bit not probably, definitely a little bit more experienced than the Swindon side, and we know that we're going to have to be really good in terms of our press, and really good to put them under pressure. But like I say, we come into the game in a good place. They'll know that coming here they'll face a tough test in terms of how we want to go about it. I'm sure it'll be, like I say, a really good game, a cracking atmosphere, probably close to a sellout, and everyone looking forward to, from our perspective, pitting our wits against the team that's sat at the top of the table.
It does look set to be another home sellout at Edgeley Park. How big a role do the fans have to play in a game like this?
Always play a big role, and hopefully we make it an enjoyable day for them and give them plenty to shout about, regardless. Like I said right from the start, we can't guarantee winning and guarantee success, but we can do everything we can in our control to make sure we give ourselves the best or chance of those things happening. We've done that in recent weeks, and we'll look to do the same on Saturday, and hopefully make it another special day at Edgeley.
Is this the kind of game you can look at as an opportunity now to lay down a mark and make a statement heading into the second half of the season?
I'm not too sure about laying down a marker or a statement. From our perspective, this comes as the 9th game of our, I suppose, next 10-game block that we had. We've had a points return that we'd have been happy with so far on the games that we've played. So we want to finish this next group of games off. We've obviously got the game Saturday, and Hartlepool's our 10th game of that run, if you like. And then when you put that behind you, you move on to the next 10. Like I say, from our side of things, it's not at the moment about statements or anything like that. It's about keeping our run going. We've bridged the gap. There was a significant gap. We've bridged that, and we've got ourselves in touching distance. We want to get ourselves closer to those top 7 places, regardless of who we play against. It's an opportunity, but it's obviously a tough opportunity because we're playing against a team that are used to winning football matches and will come to our place full of confidence and looking to win. And both teams will be of the same mindset that come 3 o'clock we'll be trying to do everything we can to take home 3 points.
I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, thank you.